In this video, I'm going to discuss about OpenAI models and APIs and also demonstrate how these APIs can be used for various applications like image generation, text generation, speech recognition, text-to-speech synthesis, and etc. So first, let us see some details about each of these endpoints. We have a facility called as text generation, which responds to the prompts which we give as an input. So for a given input question prompt, it answers in and generates the suitable text. So it uses models like deep learning models like GPT-4 or the earlier version GPT 3.5 Turbo, etc. We have an endpoint called as chat completion API endpoint through which we do that. In the last column, you can see the source code of how you can do this. Each of these will be demonstrated in few minutes. So we also have image generation. The API is images API, and the models are DALI 3 and DALI 2. So as sample example is shown here. DALI 2 can also do image in painting, but I think DALI 3, as of now, we don't have image in painting. I'll show with an example towards the end how that can also be done. So we also have vision, which is once again chat completions API, which tries to understand the given input image and describes the scene in the form of text. It uses models like GPT-4, vision preview, etc. We have text to speech generation, where it uses speech API, and the models are TTS1 and TTS1 HD, and there are other models also. The difference is TTS1 is of lower quality audio and TTS1 HD lower quality and lower latency with lesser delay, whereas TTS1 HD takes little more latency but gives the higher quality of sound. So a sample example is shown towards the right, and we have speech to text, which is to recognize the speech and convert into text. So we have models like Whisper1, which attempts to convert speech to text. We use audio API, and this speech to text is available in various languages. That is very well nicely documented in the OpenAI website, which I'll be showing shortly. And we have also have OpenAI has this capability of moderation, which can actually classify a given text is whether hurtful or abuse or any other category. It can categorize the sentiment of that given text input. So these are the things. I'll be demonstrating each of those, and I'll also be discussing how you can set up what all things you need to before you execute these programs. So let's start the demonstrations. First, we need to set up the environment. So let us see the steps involved in setting up OpenAI in your computer. So first, type OpenAI API in Google. Go to this link, first link, where it will direct you to this OpenAI website. You can go to API and explore the API. So you can go to get started, and you can sign in with your Google, or if you have an account, you can create the account. So once you reach to this quick start tutorial, you can go to quick start tutorial. This is where it gives you the instructions of how you need to set up your laptop. So to set up, so here he has given some sample programs in Python. So first you need to install Python. So both instructions for Mac OS and Windows have been explained here. How do you need to set up a virtual environment, and just to confine all your packages into a confined environment instead of installing globally. So that is the second step, and then you have OpenAI Python library, which you need to install, and then the next step is to set up the API. So to set up the API, we have instructions in both Mac OS and Windows. So you will be having a long OpenAI key which you need to set up. He has given very nicely the instructions. So I'll be showing how you can set up in bash profile and make it working. And finally, you have the programs which you can write into a .py file and you can run it. So all these steps I'm going to discuss now. So this is my terminal. So in the terminal, let me first check what Python is installed. So if I type Python 3, I can see that Python 3.9.6 is available. So you can just exit from Python, and so this is my folders, and I have already been working with OpenAI, so I'll be directly using the commands to enter into the virtual environment. So this is the command which has been explained in that website to enter into the virtual environment. So this is, as you can see here, currently we are in the virtual environment. Once we are in the virtual environment, I also have a Python file which contains different codes for showing the outputs. So I'll be running this .py file to execute it. But before that, I have to discuss something about the API key. So you need to place your API key in this bash profile, but this API key is a secret, so you should not show your API key to others. So what I'll be doing is, first I'll be showing an empty bash profile, and later you can enter your key there, and I'll show the outputs. Profile. So if you enter, this is what you see. Export OpenAI underscore API underscore key. This is where you need to enter your key. It's a long key that would be generated when you register in OpenAI website. And once you're done, you can use Control O to save and Control X to exit. So I'm exiting from here, so Control X. So once you have entered your OpenAI API key, you can activate it by sourcing it. So enter source bash profile, so it will get activated. Later you can use echo to see what is the value of that open API key. So since I kept it empty, I am not able to see anything here. Once you place some content, you can view that. So once this is done, you are ready for it. And also you should add credits in your account. So towards the end, I have also discussed how you can add the credits, how do you use the usage things I've explained in the end of this video. So once this is done, you can start the program. So after setting the API key, you can use this command to see whether API key has been set properly or not. So once this is done, we can run our Python program. So if you just see, so we have our main program OpenAI-test.py. This contains various source codes which I'm going to show shortly, and I'll try to display the output. So let's go to the code and understand it. So this is the first one which I want to show, which is the describing the image. So we have given an image. So let me just show this image to you. So this is actually the image. So if you want, so this is the image which contains a nature, grass. So let's see what sort of description our API gives for this input image. So let's run this code. So I'm using Python 3 OpenAI-test.py. So let's see the output. As you can see, it has generated the output. So this is the output which it has generated. The image depicts a serene outdoor scene with a wooden boardwalk extending into the distance through a lush green meadow, exactly describing what the scene is. So but let's understand what was there in the code. So if you see here, we are using a model called as GPT-4 Vision Preview, and we have asked the question, what's in this image. We have given the URL, and we are printing the response. Whatever the response has been generated, we are trying to print this. So this is the first use case of OpenAI APIs, where we can describe the scene of a particular image. So let's go to the next use case. So we have, it generates image. So this is the opposite, opposite of what we have seen earlier. So earlier we have given an input image, it described the scene. Now we are trying to generate the image given a input prompt text. So I want to have a white Siamese cat. So and we can have multiple qualities, standard, HD, various qualities. So we can mention here, and various sizes. So I'm going with the default. Let us see what sort of output we get for this program. So I'm going once again back to my terminal. So run this program once again. So if you run this, so it gave us the URL. So you go to this URL and see it generates the output. So let me paste this URL here. So as you can see, this is the output image generated by the API. So if you observe what all we have used the DALI 3 model here, and this is the prompt, which is a question which we have asked, and a standard image, and the size we have mentioned here. So this is the second output. So we are trying to print the URL which has been generated from this response. And let's go to the next use case. So these two are related to images. So the next one is about generating audio, which is a text to speech synthesis. So let's see what sort of output I get. So this is a text. It's a saying from Aristotle. So let's see what sort of audio it generates. And the manual or the OpenAI web page explains different voices which you can have. So I'm using Alloy here. I'll also show what all other voices which you can choose. And here the model is TTS1. As I said earlier, there is also TTS1 HD which you can use with lower with a higher quality. So let's run this. So I'm going to my terminal here, and let's run the program once again. So it gives some warning, but it actually generates the output. So the output is generated in this folder. So let me just go to my folder. So this is where it has generated. So this is what it has generated. So let me play this file.
Be a free thinker and don't accept everything you hear as truth.
So exactly what is given in the text has been played. So there are other voices also which have generated. You have in the OpenAI website explains various other voices which you can choose. If you go here, so in the text to speech, you have Alloy, Echo, Fable, Onyx, Nova, Shimmer, different voices which you can choose, and different models, TTS1, TTS1 HD, all those you can try. So this is about the text to speech synthesis, where we are using speech endpoint and trying to generate the speech for the given input text. So let's go back to our program. So now I have the reverse of what we have seen now. So which is, how do we convert speech to text? So I'll be giving an input speech. So I have the speech here, speech underscore Onyx. I'll be giving this. So let me first play that. So I have this audio. So let me first play
It
this.
is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it.
Be a free thinker.
So this is the audio which I have, and let's see what sort of text it generates. So this is what is the output. It is a mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. So this is what was the audio which we gave it to the system, and it has given us the output. This is a speech recognition, which is converting speech to text. So this is one more use case of OpenAI APIs. And we also, and this is the most basic one which everyone uses, which is responding to the prompts. So you have been given a context, so where you said that you are a poetic assistant skilled in explaining complex programming concepts and creative flair. Now try to answer to this question, which is compose a poem that explains the concept of recursion in programming, which is like mixing art and programming. And it uses a model called as GPT 3.5 Turbo, and it responds with the answer. So let us quickly run this and see what sort of output it generates. So it hasn't been saved, so let me save this once again and run this. So as you can see here, it has successfully generated a poem, which is this is the output. So in the world of code where functions reside, it is almost like writing a poem based on the programming, so it has given the proper output. So this is a natural thing. This is a regular prompt response. So we can give multiple prompts, and thereby you can obtain the response also. That is one more use case which is discussed. And we also have a final one, which is an in painting. DALL-E 2, as I said, can do image in painting, which means if you have an image and with RGBA, transparent channel also, when you have that, it can replace a particular region of the image with another image. So I'll directly show the output. I'm not going to run this. So so this is what it looks like. So this is the actual input image which has been given, and this is the region where you want to actually, in the second image we have mask, where we would like to place the desired image, and the output would be a transformed image. So in this way we can, this is called as image in painting, and DALL-E 2 supports image in painting. So these are some of the use cases of OpenAI APIs, and we can work with various other examples and generate. And finally I would like to show one thing. For all these things you need access. So it asks for credit cards, and you have a dashboard something like this, where you can see how much you have spent, how many tokens you have used, and how much it has charged. So API keys can be seen here, and so you need to, it will ask for payment portal when you are first using it. So I'll also show how do you access that link. You can see your usages here, where how much it has charged for all the services you have used. And if you want to increase the limit, in the beginning you will have a zero limit, and you can go here and go to billing and increase your limits. So you can always buy the credits, and it asks for credit card. So what we have experimented from in India, you have just used ICICI credit card, it was working. Any Visa card like Amazon or Coral Visa cards are working. I have tried with HDFC card, but it was having some problems. But you can give a try. If the billing, everything is working fine, you can add credits, and you can use all the services of this OpenAI API. Yeah, thank you.